bigger change, because when you do it with a personal level, it makes the PDSA cycle closer to you and it makes it easier to understand. And that's something that we failed forward with. And that's kind of one of the social norms that we use in our classes, failing forward. So we take what we failed at and we learn from it. And so I think it's safe to say that we failed at our first PDSA cycle. Because we spent 3 weeks in the planning cycle with the 6th graders, and we're now just starting the do cycle. But they love it. The teacher, we had a meeting after the first day with the teacher, and she said that there's students in the class that she rarely can get to participate, and they're so excited. Just some of the projects that they're working on, that we were crazily impressed with the thought that went into it. Sexism in school. They wanted to give a presentation to the entire school making sexism aware, which I thought was incredible. Texting and driving. The Ugly Fruits group. They want to bring outdated fruits from the grocery store that are still fine to eat to the lunch program, because oftentimes at the lunch program there isn't great fruit there. It probably comes out of a can. So they want to bring fresh fruits. There's 2 animal abuse groups. One is working on donating money to a local charity. And what's the other thing? Oh, and awareness. And then there is another child who is trying to give books to kids that don't have them. His aim is to get 50 books to children that do not have them.
And also another part of that, he wants to get in contact with the little libraries so that they have set up all over the country. And so he started with just wanting to put book boxes out around the schools to give to kids, but now it could become so much more.
So this is where the meat comes out. So now they're just having they're going to have a conversation with you, which is important. So what are these kids doing that you're seeing that 6th graders can do that we're seeing in our community? What part of the PDSA process, and you say now he's looking into this, some of the things that they're working on while you guys are gone, and Monday and Tuesday, what are they doing? How are they making connections? What kind of connections are 6th graders making? Who are they contacting?
Okay, so other than the school administration with a lot of the projects that they're doing, they're going out into the community and asking stakeholders and community members with great resources if they can help. And they're trying to pull the community together to collaborate on these projects and improve our community as a whole, which I think is kind of what our goal is in the end, is to improve our community before we leave, and then hopefully by teaching these tools to the younger generations, when we come back from college or come back at some point in our life, we see that the community has changed for the better. And that's, I guess, why I do it.
All right, I know, we're getting emotional here. So there's a lot, I would really invite you, I think the space that we're providing for them, it maybe is a little intimidating, but I invite you to talk with them at a table and hear their story. I applaud a teacher that we have in our school district. Our teachers are starting to think outside the box. And by that I mean, how do we partner in our community, and how do we all work together for our children? And these guys have recognized that they have the ideas. They have the lived experience just as much as other people in our community do. And they know what they want to do in order to improve. They know what they have to do in order to improve. And all they need as kids are the tools and the resources and the support. And we need to foster their voice, and anything in your community can happen. And even in your community, I mean, look at what happened when you involve those children and those families. Anything can happen, and it doesn't necessarily take that money. It just takes those tools and the support and the guidance. So these experiences together have brought this book study with Mr. Knox. If anybody knows Pete Knox, he's from Belzer, Laura, you know. It's a good experience to have him be with students, and he has no experience with students whatsoever. And so when he says, this is gonna be cool, he says it with kind of a dry statement. I'm sure if he was sitting for the door, he'd be giving me evil eyes right now. But they have established a relationship with the vice president of a healthcare provider, and he comes and he talks to them like they're not children, like they're right next to him, and he's learning from them and they're learning from him. So I'm gonna have them explain what this book study is all about and who is involved and why we're doing it.
Okay, so the book study was another opportunity that was offered to us, and the biggest thing I think that came from it is we're on an equal basis with all the people who are there, even though they have higher jobs than us, which aren't really higher jobs, they're just jobs, and we're at school, but we even have the mayor who comes, and we have all these like important people, I guess, but what we realized is we're part of those important people. We're sitting with them, and the biggest thing I think I've learned from this book study is Pete Knox, he dreams big, and the first few meetings we didn't know what we got ourselves into. We're gonna change the world together. We're gonna do this, and the first few meetings I was like, how? Like one person can't do that. Changing the world, I just didn't really think it was a thing. I thought it was taboo, I guess. And then we continue to go to these meetings, and we're making all these opportunities, and we're making so many changes, and I realized it's possible for just one person to make a change. You can't change the entire world by yourself, but I can make that change. And the biggest thing that I've learned from everything that's going on, I found my passion and what I want to do for the rest of my life. I really think it's important to continue everything you're doing, so I can't just say I did this and just keep that within me. I have to continue to keep doing what I'm doing so I can reach my goal, because I want to change the world.
So one last comment before we talk about the eyeball that's staring at you. We all oftentimes ask our students that are involved, they really are the driving force of Live Algoma. I mean, Live Algoma, we started to activate our community, but it's really the kids that are really driving this force right now. And they don't want to just keep it to themselves, they want to spread it. They want everybody in our community to have the tools and the resources that they need, like the improvement science, PDSA cycles, because they value them and they think that this is what's going to build our capacity and keep things sustainable. And so I often ask them why they care. And I think that's an important thing that we all need to ask ourselves is why do we care? Why are we in this room? And these kids have developed a Harvard Scholar class in their high school, and they have, the important people that they say at the table, and they're listening, and they're developing curriculum because of what these kids are doing. The teachers are rethinking the way they teach in the classroom systematically. They are making incredible changes in the district and the community. I mean, they have the mayor of our community sitting at the table asking them questions and leading together on outcomes. And that is an important message. And so these kids didn't, they're not taking anything for credit. They're taking this out of their free time to do this. And so I ask them why they care. So I want to end with why they care. And I'm gonna start with this incredible teacher to my right.
So why I care? Myself as an individual, I try to see the value in everybody that I meet. And so especially as a teacher, I look at my students and I say, you know, what can they offer? What's their value? And even, you know, the most challenging ones, you know, they have something too. And so even more challenging for me as a teacher is getting them to see their own value. They have a really tough time thinking that they have anything to offer. And so I care because providing them opportunities where their voice can be heard, where they're listened to, empowers them. And by being empowered, I've been able to witness them realizing their own value. So that's why I care.
So I guess I touched on this before. The reason why I care is because the community has given so much to us, and I absolutely love Algoma, and I think that oftentimes kids our age don't see some of the benefits and some of the tools and the resources that our community gives us. And our community can be better. It has a long ways to go, but I like making our community a better place to live and helping other people see the benefits of living in our community. And so when I go off to college, I hope that people can continue to see what we're doing and continue making our community better. And then when I come back, I hope to see it better, and I hope to join back in. So that's why I care.
So Tila's asked us this question once or twice, and every single time I answer, my answer changes. I don't know if it's because I can't figure out why I care, or there's like just so many reasons, but right now, my reason is I want to go to be a nurse someday, or I want to go help people, and I've had it easy, like I haven't had any tough times or anything. I've just kind of skated through life, I guess. And I want it to be that simple for everybody else. And in our community, I don't think we have some we do have struggles, but I don't think we have as much struggles as other communities might have. But we still do, and to us, it still impacts us. And I want other people to have the opportunity to skate through life like I do. And I see problems, and I am one of those people who I used to be one of those people who would look at a problem and be like, wow, that should really get fixed. Well, somebody should do something about it, and nobody does anything. So I think, I forget what the theme was here today, but it was like, who can all get impacted with this? Yes, whose lives got better. So I think that we can all stand here and say, you know, we should change this and this and this. But really, it's not going to change unless we change it first, and then we expand it to everybody around us. So I want to be one of those people who don't just look at something and say, wow, this should get changed. I want to be a person who goes forward and changes it myself, and then pushes it to everyone around me so they can keep doing the same thing, and it keeps going and going and going. So that's why I care.
Okay, I apologize, I'm pretty nervous. I wasn't really nervous before we got here, but during the last presentation, it kind of hit me like what a big deal it really is that we're here. Like, it's amazing, like how far we've come. 6 months ago, we were just like applying to colleges and just getting ready for that next step in our life, and we had no clue what it was. And I think I've always cared about helping people, I guess. And one thing that this is giving me is something to, or taught me like how I really can help others. Because almost every job can help others, but all in different ways. And I found the way I want to help others, and I think I really care. And that's why I care, because I just have a feeling inside me that we have learned so many things, and I feel like it's just so selfish to keep that to yourself. I think really what we need to do. Learning isn't hard if it's taught the right way. And so